Everybody has an opinion.
No, I don't think so.
I employ that bloke for when gigs are going badly.
Incredibly rock and roll.
How would you put that?
Be more entertaining. I'm glad you like that. I just did a little bit of weed.
Hey guys, welcome back to This Week in Comedy.
And you are not in front of me. I am in another city. You are in another city.
I am. I'm far, far away.
Well, I'm in the city of Port Phillip. You're in the city of
Glen Ira.
Glen Ira, yes.
Worlds away.
Worlds away. For anyone overseas listening to this, or even outside of Melbourne, that is just a suburb.
But really different. I mean, you've got to go through some different suburbs to get to each other.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's the major cultural difference would be crime, probably. Who's got more crime in? What's your? I mean, we probably produce the criminals, but they probably rob your suburb.
Oh, our suburb is always getting robbed, but we're also very close to Southland, and there was a machete attack just yesterday.
Oh, was there?
And my kids go there all the time. We're on the Frankston line, which is one of my favourite lines because it's got Frankston and Seaford, which is the highest stabbing rate of any station.
It's getting that stabby look.
But then you've got Malvern, Toorak, Armidale on that line as well.
That's the money line for those who don't know, right?
But Southland Station's pretty new, and so I was excited for that. Not so much anymore.
Wow, machete. So that's funny. It's not working. The machete bin's just not cutting it.
No. Well, I mean, geez, now we're getting political, but now they're rounding up all the kids. It's what is it? Adult crime for adult time for violent crime, or whatever utopia sounding.
Yeah, fair enough.
Jingle.
I have seen some of these kids, mind you, 18, and they're about 7 foot tall. So
they're terrifying. They're terrifying. Yeah. Although my kids are almost also 7 foot tall and terrifying. So.
All right. Well, let's cut off their milk supply. Get them short again, like the 1880s. Put them up the chimneys.
Yeah,
Funny you should mention chimneys. That's
it. So we've got a few things on this week.
Yes.
We're looking at what's making news in Australian comedy with the return of the Brisbane Comedy Festival. Another one. We were just talking about that last week and the lineup that's been announced for that. We've got a bit of a look back in This Week in Comedy with the first F-bomb on live TV.
Fudge!
Which was all the way back in 1963, funnily enough. So we'll take a look at that. I don't know. I don't really have a segue onto In the News. But let's just jump into In the News. So, as I said, the Brisbane Comedy Festival's back for 2026. Last year they had 90,000 attendees, over 420 performances, which is wild.
That's like 3 times the size of a normal rugby game, isn't it, in terms of...
Yeah, that's massive.
Yeah.
So lineup this year includes Denise Scott, Melanie Bracewell, Ray O'Leary and Tom Cashman. So
you just mentioned
stacked.
2 Kiwis in that list. We're bloody foreigners coming over to this country, taking jobs. Melanie Bracewell and who did I say? Ray O'Leary, both Kiwis.
Yeah. Back in, far out, would have been probably like 97, 98. My mum took me to a rally. My brother and I to a rally for, she thought it was a protest against Kiwi children's television overtaking Australian-made television. Oh. And we made picket signs with like crosses over Kiwis and stuff. It was very cool. We get there and it's just some sort of like talk in a building and we're just standing up the back with these like kind of, I don't know, not racist, but like really sort of anti-Kiwi signs. Anyway, funny. It didn't work. There's a lot of American, UK and Kiwi kids television now. So much so actually that kids' accents are changing.
Oh, you think so?
No, they are in Australia.
Right.
The younger generation now have a much like, there used to be the more clipped English British accent with Australians. It's changing even more now to this multi.
Oh, I hope not the Kiwi accent. Good God. Hello.
Oh,
yes, this and this. Oh, yeah. I was just worried.
So many listeners.
I was just worrying. Yeah, so many of them. Yeah. Sorry, Steve.
All of them.
Yeah, he's gone. I was just wondering, with your family background, a rally could mean 2 things. It could mean a protest, but it could also mean Subarus, dirt tracks and tight bends. As in a car rally.
My dad was a bikie for
there you go.
most of his life.
So Bathurst, for example, I'm sure he would have headed to Bathurst. Oh, very good. All right, so that's the Brisbane Comedy Festival. So who said there's no culture in Brisbane?
Not us.
So Tickets are on sale via the festival website, and it runs from the 24th of April to the 24th of May, my birthday, 2026. So recommend people get around that.
Yeah, so that's immediately after the Comedy Festival, Melbourne Comedy Festival. God, look at me.
It is.
Just talking about the centre of the universe being Melbourne. So Melbourne Comedy Festival 2026 finishes on the 19th of April, and then they go straight off to Brisbane.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I know a lot of people do tours. I'd love to talk to someone who follows every festival around Australia, just never has a break. Surely there's someone.
I would like to know the stories of the English that come over here thinking they'll just drive up to Brisbane after the Melbourne Comedy Festival and get there the next day.
Yeah. No transit time at all. No. I also wanted to talk about, do you know the term pretty privilege?
I can. Is it? She doesn't have to be smart because she's got the looks. She doesn't have to be nice because she's got the looks. Is that what we're going
essentially?
With?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the perception that you have an advantage societally because of how you look. And I've been reading a lot about. Do you know Elouise Eftos?
Now she brings the sex back to comedy, doesn't she? She
sure does.
She gets pretty naked, or not quite fully, but somewhat.
Almost pretty naked. I mean, naked enough. And she has been definitely pushing some boundaries. So she's had it with people telling her that she's too pretty to do comedy, and instead she's turned that into her whole act.
Yep.
She was born in Sydney with Greek Macedonian heritage, and growing up she didn't think she was beautiful or funny, which is sad but pretty common, I think, for female comedians and just I think women in general, especially. I mean, I can't talk about nationality or anything like that, heritage, but I can only imagine being from like the WOG. Can you say WOG?
I think you can. You've got a little bit of it in you, do you? Is that right?
Not right now,
then
but
technically,
my kids certainly do.
Okay, well that's true. That's true. The kids through marriage, yeah.
Yeah, not currently. But I find it really interesting. I actually remember I'm in quite a few comedy groups, and I remember when Elouise posted her show, which I love the name of, which is Australia's First Attractive Comedian. And it caused a bit of a stir. I won't say who.
Tell us, please.
Maybe off air I'll let you know.
Yeah.
But it did cause a bit of a stir amongst a few of the other female comedians in terms of taking it the wrong way. It was like, how can you say that, I love it. I think it's very tongue-in-cheek. One of my favourite sort of openers or bits that she does, which is just so wicked and delicious, it makes me go, you bitch. She sort of says, people say doing stand-up comedy is hard, No, it's not. And it always gets like such a good laugh because she's usually in like something. She always looks great. But yeah, I guess it raises the question, like, is too attractive to be funny still a thing? Do you think it's a thing?
I'm worrying. I've got an idea. We have a Patreon account, and we put all our real gossip into that. So that's when we talk dirty and backstab. Yeah. So it's just like $400 a month or something,
Yeah. Hey, you could do an OnlyFans.
Okay. Back to, so she's Greek Macedonian. I know a lot of Greeks that don't recognise Macedonians and Macedonians that don't recognise Greeks. So she's pissing everyone off, right? The women, the Greeks.
Yeah, from birth. Yeah.
Yeah. Alexander the Great was the other good-looking Macedonian. Or Greek Macedonian if you want, and then her. So I don't know if Alexander the Great did too much comedy, but I know he did travel a lot. He was on the road.
He certainly travelled.
He did.
Must have at least seen some comedy.
I think there's some Chinese with blue eyes. I mean, I'm not joking. I think he really travelled. I mean, not quite the Mongolian Genghis.
That's what I was thinking. Isn't that Mongolian? Yeah.
But no, certainly, yeah, there's some people with blue eyes over to the east. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. So Elouise Eftos, good Greek name there. Probably has some.
I personally think it's a really good. It's a bit of a risk, I think, the whole subversion of people's expectations with the name Australia's First Attractive Comedian, but I really like it. I think it's clever.
I think it's good because a lot of comedians undersell themselves or put themselves down in their titles for the festivals as well.
Sure.
They highlight a weakness versus a strength.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking about that, one day when I may or may not do a solo show. And yeah, all of the titles that I came up with were really self-deprecating.
So the second most attractive woman in comedy. There you go.
No.
Third? All right. It'd just be the Melbourne Comedy Festival, just numbers, right?
Yeah, I'll just be like a comedian.
Yeah, a comedian, an a comedian. So you get the front of the guide. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Alcoholics Anonymous, according to some people who don't like what I'm saying on Facebook.
Now, I'm just going to step in. I believe there is Just for Laughs going on in Sydney at the moment, which is cutting into that Queensland or Brisbane Comedy Festival. But I interviewed Kaiser, Caesar Kaiser. I'll play his clip a little bit later. So what happened this time in comedy?
This week in comedy history, Morry. We're going back what would it be, 1963? That's 62 years? Yeah. Hey, my maths isn't too bad. So we're going back 62 years, so before both of us, our time.
Yep.
We've got a man named Kenneth Tynan. Have you heard of Kenneth Tynan?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Not many people have. He was a British theatre critic. He was known for pushing boundaries and provoking the censors. And he was the first man to intentionally say fuck on live television.
Wow. 1963, I imagine the provoking the censors was wearing a skirt and showing your knees.
Yeah, well, you'd think, right? So he was on BBC Three.
Yep. Live, obviously. No delay.
Live.
Yeah.
No delay, and debating the topic, should theatre be allowed to show sex on stage? So he was pretty big on yes. His response was, I doubt any rational person would find the word fuck particularly diabolical. So pretty vanilla by today's standards, right?
Had that been 10 years earlier, it wouldn't have been show sex on stage. It would show the other sex on stage. It would have just been men, wouldn't it, typically?
Well, yeah. Shakespearean times, it was all men in drag. Men love drag. Men love to get dressed up in drag.
Yeah, and private schools to this day. It's the same.
Oh, 100%. You give me any. What, you don't love to get a bit dragged up every now and then? Have you ever? You've done some theatre.
Yeah. I've never done drag. I've done probably.
You'd be so good at drag.
Would I? Okay, I've got a 5 o'clock shadow, but I did probably the gayest thing I've ever done is I dressed up as a PE teacher at overseas at a party that was schoolgirl themed. So it was meant to be sexy schoolgirls and naughty teachers or something. And a mate of mine, we dressed up in really tight tops, tight shorts, and moustaches, big sort of 1980s moustaches, and we were so popular, I could tell you, but the boys and the girls, to be honest. But no, that's probably the closest I ever got to drag. That was not. I was still a male in that.
Yeah, fair. I don't know. I think to be confirmed. I can see. So you don't need to get rid of the facial hair or anything. A lot of people do drag with the beard.
Oh yeah.
A gender bent Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
A sexy Colonel Sanders with big chicken fillets, big breasts.
Oh, there's a theme there. And that story I just told you was in China. In China, the euphemism for prostitute is chicken. So
really,
I guess we say chicks as in girls, but specifically G in Chinese means a prostitute. It's a euphemism for that. So yeah, the Colonel Sanders. Look, for those that are listening to this and don't know what I look like a younger version to this day, currently a younger version of the famous trademark. But
that's correct.
I can't be sued for having a face, can I?
Oh, I mean, can you? Don't put ideas in people's heads.
He will try. Anyway, you'll have to get the Patreon to figure out what that's about.
Circling back, so today's standards, fuck, it's kind of crazy. 62 years, that's not a big deal anymore. But the fallout was pretty big. The BBC had to issue a formal apology.
Yep.
Over 100 MPs, they signed censor motions.
Yep.
Which is one of them, Mary Whitehouse. She wrote to the Queen.
Right.
She wrote to the Queen saying, and this is a quote, that his bottom should be spanked.
Okay, so was she in favour or against showing sex on stage? Because that's
yeah, that's actually a good point.
It's hard to read that.
The irony in that situation was revelations later showed that he had a fetish for spanking. So unwittingly, I think Mary was probably team Kenneth.
Yeah, right. Look, I imagine those 100 MPs would probably had a fetish for spanking and flagellation. Is that what what's it called?
That's it. Flagellation. Yeah.
Flagellation. Yeah. The British
Which
can be
I only
kinky.
know from. Yeah, I only know flagellation from like the biblical, like as a self punishment, right? Like, is it still with the tails?
Oh yeah.
Like Passion of the Christ.
Yeah. So no beers today, no sponsored beers because we're in different places, different cities. But I did get to talk to Seizure Kaiser. I'm saying that correctly, seizure, as in epilepsy, and Kaiser. I think that's not his that's his stage name, not his name on his passport or his birth certificate. He is a well-known and well-respected comedian, producer, director. Rumor says that he's coming to Melbourne with maybe a Japanese from Japan, a Japanese from Japan, not just like one of the local ones from down the shops. But so he's bringing over a great Japanese comedian as well. So he is, I guess, big in the Australian scene and maybe possibly bigger in Japan. Who knows? But let's have a listen to my interview with Seizure Kaiser right now. Good afternoon, Seizure. How are you, mate?
Good, man. How you doing? Good.
Sydney, Seizure, you are the king. You are the Kaiser of comedy, one might say.
Sure.
Yep, well, it's certainly your branch. Seizure Kaiser, you are a regular face in the Sydney comedy scene, so it's good to do the whip around and speak to you about a few things that are happening in Sydney. First things, what is happening in Sydney? What are some of the paid rooms professional comedians can go and perform in?
Well, there's a couple clubs at the moment. Like the non-open mic ones, I'd say would be like My Room at the Laugh-In. You've also got a couple of ID rooms, Happy Endings, the Comedy Store, and a couple of satellite ones here and there that are like monthly. Yeah,
well, tell me about your room. Is it in New?
So I have two rooms in Sydney. One called Comedy X in Penrith, and the other one, the Laugh-In in Newtown.
Newtown, that's right. Okay. There's probably a Newtown in every capital city in Australia. So not Newtown, Victoria, not Newtown, Queensland, but Newtown in Sydney, which is, I believe, and I'm going to put my Melbourne hat on, is kind of like the Brunswick of Sydney. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. So a little bit hip, a little bit coffee, a little bit fixed wheel, bicycle, that kind of thing. Excellent. Tell us about that. So how many nights do you run that in?
4 nights a week, usually. Sometimes we do 5 nights, depending if an actor's coming in and wants to do a solo. So 4 nights a week.
4 nights a week.
Wednesday through to Saturday.
Fantastic. What time do you start?
Wednesday 7, then open mic at 9, Thursday 7 o'clock, and Friday, Saturday 7:20 and 9 p.m.
Oh, fantastic! That's an amazing amount of comedy for one venue. And if someone from outside Sydney who doesn't know you wants to and is a professional comedian, not an open micer, wants to get up, how do they reach out to you?
Bookings at comedyonedge.com.
Perfect. Now, big names. Any big names? I heard there might be a couple of Americans in town.
Yeah, Reggie Watts is currently in town, and Jimmy O Yang is coming out later. I'm looking forward to seeing those guys. Big fans.
Yeah, Jimmy was one of my favorite characters in Silicon Valley.
Best show.
One of the best shows ever, for sure. So tight in terms of its relevancy. They got, I think, news landed a week before, and they'd have it scripted and filmed and on TV the next week. It was amazing. He's a very funny guy. Sadly, isn't a non-English Chinese person at all. He's American and he's fluent in English. So don't be concerned that you need a translator to go see him. If you're a fan of Silicon Valley, by the way, he plays a Chinese individual who speaks very little English in the show, which is part of the humor.
They stand up perfect English.
That's right. And Reggie Watts, he's also American. I heard that he was born on a German, in a US Army base in Germany.
Yeah, he's he moved around a lot when he was a kid.
Yeah, does that mean he's exempt or can't become the president of the United States, or it's okay because it's a US military base?
It's okay because it's a US military base.
Oh, okay, right. So it's like being born in a consulate or an embassy. Oh, so American soil, all that.
Correct.
Oh, very good. So those are some big names. And are they just for laughs? Are they coming here or?
No, Jimmy Young's exempt. He's coming out later. But Reggie Watts is part of Just for Laughs.
Just for Laughs, Sydney. Fantastic. Now, some local faces. Who should we be looking out for in next year's big comedy bash from the Perth, Melbourne, Adelaide, Sydney? If this person is listed as a performer, we should definitely go see. Any names you can recommend?
Well, there's quite a few names, but like Gemma Urban, Karina Gura, Swanee Owen, who else is there? Peter Gleeson, definitely doing big waves at the moment. Yep.
Peter Gleeson, no, not Tom Gleeson's brother,
No relation.
cousin, no relation. Just there are a couple of surnames that are very common in comedy, and Franklin is one of them. Heath Franklin, Chris Franklin, and others. O'Neill, although sometimes with 2 L's, sometimes with 1 L. That's a common one. So Gleeson may be the next. Maybe totally different spelling, of course. But no Kaisers. You're the only Kaiser out there.
Only Kaiser.
There is only one
only.
king. Long live the king. And any shows, aside from the ones that you're running in Newtown there in Sydney, is there any other things that we should be looking out for, things that you're running, things that we should know about?
Just at the moment, the Laugh-In, we just went through a big money upgrade in the venue, so it looks much nicer now, better sound system. We're also working on a few YouTube projects, basically. I've got a couple of specials coming out on the Comedy on Edge YouTube channel from a couple of big-name comedians that are dropping on our channel real soon.
Fantastic. Oh, YouTube. Well, we'll definitely put a link in the show notes at the bottom of this podcast for that. I'll have to get that off you offline. Well, Kaiser, thank you very much. Well, Mr. Kaiser, I should say. Caesar Kaiser. Thank you very much for the whip around. We've just come to Sydney. If you're heading to Sydney, pay attention to those names and head over to Newtown. Good comedy room. Thank you. I'll see you very soon.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, that was the man. That was the king, Kaiser, which is German for king. Caesar Kaiser.
His name's funny because it almost gives you a seizure saying it.
Yeah, I can tell you
Caesar
that
Kaiser.
you have to be phonetically correct, and it would probably bring back those crisp enunciations that you were mentioning are disappearing from the Australian linguistic.
Oh yeah. I listen to old relic radio podcasts, and I listen to the sci-fi versions, and they're all radio shows from like the 30s, 40s.
It's 1942, and Jimmy has.
Oh my God, yes.
Right. Okay.
And the music is like woo.
Yeah. Well,
they're fantastic.
Well, he was talking about Jimmy O Yang, who's an American comedian who plays a Chinese character in Silicon Valley. I love Silicon Valley. And have you ever watched the show? It's 2014.
I caught a bit. Yeah, my kids were very little at that stage. I don't remember it. 2 under 2. I don't remember a lot, but I caught a bit.
It was a really good show because it was essentially a comedy about Apple, Google, Facebook, and it merged characters from each. There's a little bit of blur between each person, but you got to see, that guy's definitely a Google character. Right there, and that guy's definitely playing an Apple character. And Jimmy played a Chinese startup guy. Spoiler alert, he kind of lucks out, as Americans would say, at the end of the show. And it's got a lot of great actors, a lot of great comedians in that show. A shout out to Silicon Valley. In fact, I met one of the technical writers who's an Australian, now lives back in Melbourne. And his name's Andrew, and he was at a startup, an event that I was attending in my other life. I'm in startups, and he asked me what I do, and I said I work in comedy, and he kind of looked at me and said, I worked in comedy a bit. And I went, oh yeah, well, tell me more. And he goes, yeah, have you ever heard of a show called Silicon Valley? I said, that is one of my favorite shows of all time. And then he just started quoting lines. He goes, that was my line. And I came up with that idea. Cool. And there's a lot of little Easter eggs in that show. This is for those who love Silicon Valley, the TV show. There's a lot of little Easter eggs, like when someone is on their laptop, it's not just a blank screen or just random code. There's actually messages in there, and often the messages are coded messages so that you have to put it into maybe it's an HTML file, and when you load it, it loads up. They even created products that they promoted. They were fake products in the show, but then they created the real website so people could go offline. I
love that sort of thing. That's great.
It is amazing. Trivia.
All right. Trivia. So we have a trivia segment. I don't know if you know this.
I don't know if you know this kid. Has it ever made you
Which is a little inside joke which we can share with it. Morry is quite you say it a lot, don't you?
I do say it.
Unintentionally.
And it's like when you say to someone, don't do that, don't lick your lips or don't scratch your head. As soon as you say that, they just do it more. And I don't know if you know this, but there's a professor by the name of – anyway, that's the beginning of my joke. And it's common.
Funnily, just on a side note, I've had this idea with another comedian about doing doing each other's sets, so a show where everyone does it. I could do. There's a few comedians. I could do your set. I could do a lot of people's sets, but very funny. However, I don't know if you know this. Fawlty Towers.
Yep.
Everyone knows Fawlty Towers.
Yeah, John Cleese.
Basil Fawlty.
Yep.
Don't mention the war.
Did you know that Basil Fawlty is based on a real dude?
Ah, okay. Yep.
Yeah. So his name is Donald Sinclair, and he was a hotel owner in Torquay, UK.
That's Torquay, UK, yeah. Also on the beach, though.
Yeah.
Torquay, Victoria is on the beach as well.
Same, but different. That's like Brighton and Brighton as well, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
What I want to know is who came to New South Wales and was like, is it the New South Wales or is it, is it the south of Wales?
Yeah, why is it
And
only
they went,
South
"Damn,
Wales?
this
What
is
about
similar."
North? What about Conway and Carnarvon?
Have you been to South Wales? Like, is there anything special about
That's where all the funny accents are from, but the north of Wales has all the castles. Anyway, yeah, who wouldn't?
I guess when they got here, there weren't any castles for some reason.
No, but there was a Newcastle, wasn't there? They decided in New South Wales.
There we go. This is turning into somehow related.
Yeah.
So
tell us about John Cleese's character.
Donald Sinclair was described by John Cleese as the rudest man he'd ever met, which I think John would have met a few rude people. But so Monty Python were filming in 1970 at his hotel.
Yeah.
And they witnessed a guest come out and ask, when was the bus into town? And Sinclair just threw the bus timetable at him.
Right.
He also confiscated Eric Idle's briefcase during filming because it had a ticking alarm clock inside it, and he thought it was a bomb.
Yes, of course.
And he lectured Terry Gilliam on how to eat because he said that he ate too American.
That would be crossing, it's like cutting the food and then moving your fork from your left hand to your right hand.
Yeah,
eating.
sure.
I think that's the classic American style. Terry, is he American? Oh, hang on. Terence Van Gilliam is an American-British filmmaker. There we go.
Ooh, so a bit of self-loathing in there, perhaps.
Yeah, so maybe he wears a bowler hat while he cuts his meat the American way. Oh, that's interesting. So based on a real person. So life is the source of that muse. He's the muse.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Just like funny in the moment.
Yeah, funny in the moment. I was at a Woolworths somewhere in Melbourne and I was walking. They've got those gates now. They've got those security gates that open. The staff have a little clicker that opens the gate. I'm assuming also that it opens automatically at times as well. But
right. So for emergency situations, whether you need to let people out.
And this Woolworths was in a particularly aged area of Melbourne. And there was a woman, I would say she was certainly – I would say definitely in her late 70s, possibly in her early 80s, but sort of over one of those walking frames with the wheels, so rolling forward. And, she was very old, not your typical machete-wielding Southland thug, but she got locked out. And for some reason, the Woolworths staff member didn't see her leaving and didn't press the button. And she was sort of like looking around, confused, and I had just finished paying and I walked sort of up to her at the moment that the door then opened and she sort of squeezed through. She was a bigger lady and she got through and I turned to her and I said, "Wow, I thought you were going to make a run for it." And she looked at me and was like, "No, it's the gates don't work." And I was like, I know.
Yeah, no shit, man.
Yeah. It was funny. It's someone been there, it would have been hilarious.
Yeah, sure.
I laughed. That's funny in the moment.
Yes. Which now I'm thinking maybe this needs to be, you had to be there.
You had to be there.
You had to be there. Well, I guess the point of this show, this episode, is that it is encouraging people to be funny in the moment. That you don't have to ignore a moment and just have it in your own head and go, "Oh, wouldn't it be funny if I'd said that?" give it a whirl. See if someone does
Yeah, do
laugh at you. You know, choose your audience. I knew she wasn't going to attack me, even if she wanted to. But yeah, that's funny in the moment.
Yeah, you know, the world's so bleak sometimes, and I often, like, even when I'm walking down the street, I try to smile at people or, you know, make a funny comment, and I feel like there's less and less of that. I think it's good if we start, and even my kids, I guess they're just teenagers though, they say to me, "Oh, Mum, don't do that. Don't talk to that person. That's embarrassing." And I'm like, "No, it's not. It's good to make friends and, like, have a chat,
Yeah, particularly
have a laugh."
Exactly, and don't threaten me with that machete.
Please.
Yeah.
Or if you do it, do something funny first.
You're right. Oh dear. Well, fantastic. That is the theme. I guess it's a machete-themed episode.
Yeah, the week where machetes took over.
And I think we'll have a few more of those before that problem has resolved itself.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much.
All
We'll go back to our own suburbs and yeah, look out for some funny moments.
That's it. I'll be probably trying to set them up now. Actually, you've given me some ideas with old ladies and Zimmer frames and
that's it.
and gates that won't open. I want to test something at my local. Well, thank you guys for listening. I've been Lily Geddes.
And I'm Morry Morgan.
Hey, and that's been This Week in Comedy.
Incredibly rock and roll. How would you put that?
Be more entertaining. I'm glad you liked that. I was a little bit away.